Hello, everyone. This is part two, episode 9. I am Stan, and I'm also known as the Shadow Seeker. And this will be the continuation of my monthly reading for my beautiful collective. And I'm going to pick up right where we left off. So, where we had left off was with the situations that will present themselves once we shift into this new beautiful energy going into January 2025. And we left off with the Five of Swords in the upright position. And then I clarified with the Six of Cups in the reverse position. And I was picking up heavily that this particular conflict that we will be experiencing seems to be centered around some sort of relationship dynamic from the past, something that we may be kind of stuck on in the past. And not sure if I mentioned in part one, but I wasn't quite sure if that was for everyone within the collective. So it's only probably going to resonate for a specific few in the collective. And I'm not sure if this energy will continue channeling or not as we move on into the rest of the reading. But once I ascertain what types of situations we'll be shifting into, I also like to see what types of challenges or obstacles we'll face. So I'm going to be shuffling my cards and we're going to be picking up right where we left off and see what types of obstacles we'll be facing. Now, if we do channel again into that particular energetic dynamic that I picked up on with the Five of Swords, then we'll see if we can dive a little bit deeper into that particular type of thread of energy. But I'm not really anticipating that that might come up again, but we'll see. So, again, we just want to try to shuffle and see what other types of energy we're going to be picking up on. Okay, so immediately we have the Page of Wands in the upright position. I have to say, with the particular deck that I'm using, I really am so enamored by this deck. I really feel like it's very unique with a lot of the imagery that we have here because one thing I want to point out, and this is going back into the first reading, the Four of Pentacles that I drew that represented who we are currently as we shift into the energy of the new year and going into January 2025. The Four of Pentacles, usually the decks that I've used, it's always been a man holding the coin close to his heart and has his feet on the pentacles on the ground, but it's a woman. And it's really interesting that it's a woman in this particular type of imagery here. Now, she does have sort of that same sort of expression that you would see maybe like in the traditional tarot decks that you would see. But I do find it really fascinating that it's a woman because here in the Page of Wands, it's a woman as the page. And that's very interesting because usually when I think of page energy, I guess I'm always sort of thinking, masculine type of energy, like very youthful, very young, fresh, almost like, a boy transitioning into a man type of energy. But it's this young woman here. And this is like, a fair maiden, or like a young woman that is sort of like just starting out in a sense. And she just sort of has this like la di da type of energy, which is really kind of infectious in a way. And okay, going into the type of obstacle that I am sensing here or feeling here. So it really seems like almost the overall energy of this particular reading, which we haven't even made it towards the end of the reading yet, but it really seems like it's very spiritual based, or it seems like the collective energy here is really sort of going through their own personal spiritual journey in a sense. And it really seems like they are eager and has this very strong spark of like an energetic burst or freshness, or sort of looking at things with this like new sense of, I'm trying to think of what the word is called, but just like this freshness when it comes to doing everything, and almost like this naivety in a sense. So it really seems like the challenge here is maintaining that particular type of spark or that particular type of freshness, maintaining that internal fire in a sense. This is fire sign energy here that I'm picking up on. And it really seems like there is just this curiosity that, this eagerness, this willingness to explore a lot of these new experiences. And it really just sort of feels like whatever obstacles or challenges that are presenting themselves, shifting into this energy into January 2025, it really is sort of like spirit saying, maintain that level of creativity or spontaneity, or this new way of looking at things with these fresh eyes is what I'm really feeling. Or, staying in this very enthusiastic type of energy, staying in this very open mindedness type of energy here. Because it really seems like this creativeness is going to really highlight your intuition in a sense, or highlight the drive of what you're trying to manifest, particularly moving into the next month. And I'm picking up again career. So it really seems like career is something that is really being focused on, or finances is really being focused on here with this particular collective that I'm channeling into. But I'm also picking up this wave of energy when it comes to spiritual fulfillment. And it really seems like someone is very eager to learn and very eager to assimilate all types of esoteric knowledge in a sense. So it really seems like your spirit team or the universe or your spirit guides are really encouraging you to bask in that type of energy and maintain that type of frequency, because the more you do this, the more it's going to allow you to expand into a lot of different things that you never thought were possible for you. For some reason, I'm getting like the full energy, but that card has not presented itself in any of the readings that I've done so far. So it's really kind of interesting that I'm picking up on that particular type of energetic dynamic. Okay, but now for our next card, for another obstacle that we may face shifting into January, we have the High Priestess reversed. And wow, this feels like heavy energy. It almost feels like a lot of back and forth type of energy, too. So, or a lot of up and down kind of energy. But the High Priestess, it's such another beautiful card. But reversed, it really feels as if someone is blocking their intuition, or they're blocking a lot of what I'm feeling like their manifestations in a sense, because they're sort of disconnecting themselves from their divine feminine energy, or what I'm feeling a lot of like heart chakra type of energy. So it really seems like there's this sort of internal blockage between their intuitive mind and their rational way of thinking. So I'm kind of picking back up on that Queen of Swords energy from earlier. And this feels like a really heavy obstacle, because it's like the more you're disconnecting from this, in a sense, more you're disconnecting from like certain spiritual aspects of yourself, almost as if you are questioning your spirituality or your faith in something. I'm sensing that there's this internal imbalance when it comes to the way that you're handling certain situations presented in the 3D. So it really seems like you're letting certain, I don't know why I'm getting chakra centers for some reason, but letting certain chakra centers sort of be overly stimulated and neglecting other parts of your chakras. Or really, what it is you're letting your rational mind overtake your emotional centers, or the parts of you that sort of have this like sixth sense or this inner knowing of something when it comes to esoteric knowledge, or just like your gut, in a sense, your gut feeling, the things that you just sort of know or come into knowing, in a sense. And you're sort of disconnecting from those particular types of dynamics of yourself. Your inner guides, or just your inner knowing, is what it feels like. You're really sort of blocking this out for some reason. And it really feels as if this is a conscious decision. It doesn't feel like anyone or anything has externally put you in this type of frame of mind. It really feels as if this was a decision that you made of your own free will to sort of disconnect from this type of powerful energy here that the high priestess represents. And it's really kind of sad too. Like, I'm really feeling this wave of chills, or like this wave of sadness, in a sense, because it really feels as if this is someone that felt the need to do this out of a necessity of trying to survive, in a sense. I don't know why I'm getting that particular type of thread of energy, but it really feels as if somebody had to make the conscious decision for their survival when it comes to a particular type of dynamic here. And it really feels odd to say that again, because it really feels that this particular person or group of people in the collective knew what they were consciously doing when they made the choice to disconnect from their higher self, in a sense, by making decisions that really were truly out of alignment for them. But I'm just getting the feeling that it was easier to do this at the present moment, but it's almost as if it's presented itself in a set of circumstances, or a set of things that led up to a particular timeline that really is truly out of alignment for you. So this really feels like a call from the universe to sort of get yourself more realigned with your divine feminine energy and into your intuitive self of being, because in doing so, it's going to put you back in alignment for what it is that truly is meant for you. Because the longer you stay in this type of energetic dynamic, it really is just going to present a lot of heaviness around you, or a lot of stagnancy, or a lot of restriction. I'm even getting something about like you're restricting yourself from being or going through some sort of metamorphosis, in a way where at this time you're supposed to be expanding, not sort of, going into a cocoon, or like hermit mode, or some sort of sense of where you are sort of trying to shield yourself from outside stimuli or influences. So this really seems like a very hyper specific thread, or threads of energy. So I don't really feel like that's going to resonate for everybody, but there is this internal battle that I'm really picking up on very heavily. It is a very heavy type of energy. And there's just a lot of these pressures when it comes to this lack of faith that you have within yourself. And whatever this lack of faith is, it's really holding you back from expansion and growth. So, this is definitely a time to trust in the universe and allow it to guide you towards your highest good, to whatever that's going to look like for you. Because just the more you disconnect, the more it's really going to take you out of alignment, in a sense, and leave you into something that's very, very unfulfilling, and just something that is just not really deep and enriching for your soul. Like your soul's purpose right now is what it feels like. So that's a very specific type of energy. There's also some sort of sense, or a thread of some sort of lack of closure, some sort of unresolved emotions from some sort of relationship dynamic. It could be romantic or platonic. I'm really picking up on something that's current. So someone could be going through some sort of romantic dynamic that is really just so unfulfilling right now, but they're just making this series of conscious decisions to sort of stay within the bounds of this type of dynamic when it's really detrimental to them in the long run. So it's really essential to be in more of this nurturing, caring type of divine feminine energy and knowing what's truly best for you, because the more you restrict yourself or prevent yourself from having access to what it is that you truly deserve, it just really again seems very detrimental to your expansion and to your growth. And it's not what you truly desire. You truly desire to be in this full embodiment of what the high priestess represents in the upright position. I'm also feeling this Empress energy as well. So, going back to the Empress, like this abundant, truly lucrative type of energy is what you are really trying to achieve here. But when you're making these conscious decisions that are really misaligned with you, it's really just sort of making you sort of flip flop in a sense between these lower vibrational frequencies or timelines. And it's really causing a conflict when you're trying to align yourself to a higher timeline here. So that just feels like really heavy energy. And wow, like, I mean, honestly, it makes me feel really like weighed down in a sense because I can just feel how heavy it is for these specific people that I'm talking about in this collective. Okay, so the next card that we have here for a type of obstacle that will present itself shifting into the next month is this Seven of Pentacles and it's reversed. Wow. So I just had to take like a breather there. So it really feels like with this particular energetic dynamic, it really feels like someone is not trying to invest in something at this point in time. They're not willing to let something flourish or be in a very sort of patient type of energy. So I'm really sensing a lot of impatience around something, and it could be something in the physical. So someone here could be making a lot of hasty decisions or a lot of decisions that are really sort of rushed or made out of frustration surrounding something in the physical. It could be a job dynamic, again, relationship dynamic, platonic or romantic. But whatever it is, it's really coming from a dissatisfaction around some sort of personal development of something. And it really is somebody in the collective really going through something where they're not allowing things to unfold naturally. They're trying to sort of rig the system in a sense, or trying to exert their energy into something where they're trying to make something forcibly align for them instead of letting it happen naturally. And the more you do this, the more it's just going to cause a lot of friction or internal conflict is what I'm sensing here. And it's almost like you're sending the wrong signals to the universe or the wrong types of frequencies to the universe, because when you are truly aligned with something, it's like you're sending a certain signal to the universe and the universe will reflect that back in a sense. But when you're trying to control things or get something to be like a controlled outcome without truly surrendering, you really manifest a lot of blockages, honestly. And this is what it feels like. So it really feels like these blockages, again, it really feels like it's surrounded towards career and finance. So if this really resonates for you, this could be a time to really surrender into whatever is to come and let it really unfold naturally when it comes to your career. And don't try to rush into something that truly is not fulfilling or aligned with you when it comes to your career. Or if you feel stuck or stagnant when it comes to your career, don't rush into something where it really feels like the grass is not greener on the other side. I don't know why I got that immediately, but it could be you making a hasty decision for yourself where it's best you be aligned with whatever it is that may feel mundane or may feel unfulfilling right now. But I'm just feeling like something is better for you on the horizon, but it just requires this level of surrender. So that seems very specific for somebody in the collective. And I really hope that that message you can take to the heart because really, this is sort of like you being resilient right now. So this is kind of going back to that Nine of Wands energy from earlier in the previous reading. I'm not really picking up on any other types of channeled messages with this, but I am right now feeling this heaviness. So it really is almost overwhelming in a sense. So I'm really sensing a lot of people in the collective that I'm channeling is really kind of going through a lot of overwhelming types of emotional dynamics, almost like a roller coaster. But it does seem like in the 3D, you all are very good at sort of putting these emotions at bay or sort of disconnecting from these types of emotional dynamics where you possibly don't feel like you're able to really talk to someone about these particular types of dynamics, or you feel like no one is really in your circle right now, if that makes sense. But I'm really feeling like that's not true. It really feels as if you are being supported right now, but it requires a level of surrender on your part that you just have this fear of the unknown right now. And the more you give into that fear, it just really seems like you're going to hold yourself back, honestly. So, this is a time really to surrender to what will be going into the new year. So, I hope that helps for somebody. Okay, so I want to get a channeled message from Spirit before we end this reading. So I am going to shuffle again and I'm going to draw a card and see what advice the universe has for us as we shift into the new year. Okay, so after shuffling, it looks like three cards just flew out as I was putting the intention for spiritual advice from the universe. We have here the Ace of Swords reversed to start out with. And Spirit is saying here that there is a time right now of a lot of confusion, a lot of miscommunication when it comes to receiving information or communicating with others. And Spirit is really urging you right now to really be wary or cautious about any sort of miscommunication, any sort of avenues of miscommunication, or where people are potentially deceiving you or communicating something that's very dishonest that could mislead you and could potentially cloud your judgment or give you a lack of clarity or something that could be hindering you in a sense. I'm really also picking up on an energy where most of the collective is seeking clarity when it comes to a particular type of dynamic or some sort of way of going about things in their day to day life. So it really is this call to sort of seek within yourself the type of truth or the type of clarity that you're looking for. So, this is probably going to require a lot of introspection on your part to really actively discern what it is that you're trying to obtain when it comes to seeking some sort of knowledge or communication from others because I'm really feeling right now there are a lot of threads of energy that are surrounding us right now that could be trying to deceive us in a sense or be making us kind of fall off track. So that could be very specific for someone here. The next card is the Seven of Swords in the reverse position. And with this card, the universe, I feel, is saying that there needs to be a level of honesty when it comes to facing certain challenges or situations within your reality. And it really also feels like when it comes to embracing the truth, there's a level of uncomfortability. Oh, I think I pronounced that wrong. I'm sorry. Of feeling uncomfortable. I don't know why I said uncomfortability. Or not accepting the revelation of something. So it really feels like shifting into the month of January that there might be some potential revelations of truth surrounding something when it comes to some sort of deception or where something was hidden from you. And I'm really picking up this could be some sort of relationship dynamic again. So, not sure if that's that same thread of energy I picked up earlier from the previous reading or if this has to do with a current relationship dynamic. So, take whatever resonates for you. Really, this is a time where spirit is saying to not use deceit or manipulation to achieve any types of goals. So, this really goes back to, and honestly, I just like almost forgot it because I'm channeling other types of energies at this moment. A lot of messages want to seem to come through right now. And so it's really hard for me to like ascertain what is sort of taking priority because it really feels like certain people's spiritual teams are sort of like pushing through at the moment. But there is some sort of thread or veil of deception or dishonesty around some sort of relationship dynamic. And so, spirit is really urging you to not take things at face value and to really think more strategically on whatever situations are presenting themselves in the 3D when it comes to external relationships, whether they're platonic or romantic or some sort of relationship dynamic from the past or something you're currently dealing with. And this could be centered around, again, soulmates, twin flames, karmic connections, karmic soulmates, certain people you have a particular soul contract with. It's definitely a feeling of not taking things at face value, is what it feels like right now. Now, we have here the chariot that also flew out here in the upright position. And wow, okay. The message that is coming so clearly right now is allow things to flow naturally in order for things to flow and afford progression. So it really feels like whatever is truly holding you back right now, it's really important to release that, release the reins, and just let things flow, is what it really feels like the universe is saying right now. And if you want to see more true forward momentum in something, it really requires a certain level of surrender and trust in whatever it is you believe in, spirit, God, whatever your religion is, whatever higher powers or deities you channel or believe in. It really feels like the more you surrender to the unknown, the more forward movement you're going to see in all aspects of your life. And this really feels like a very powerful, steadfast type of energy that I'm really feeling right now. And I really feel like that particular thread is only really going to resonate for people that are truly in alignment with trying to expand in all aspects of their life, spiritually, in love, or when it comes to career, which really has been like the driving force between this reading right here. And Spirit is also really urging a level of discipline and self control when it comes to the direction of where it is you're trying to achieve certain goals right now. And Spirit is also really saying right now that self discipline is the key to a clear direction when it comes to a particular spiritual path or a particular path that you're trying to take right now. So it really is essential that you do whatever it is that's necessary for you to let go and surrender and allow things to just flow again, very in this natural state of mind. Because once that happens, again, you will see so many different energetic shifts because it really does feel like there is going to be a major shift for us, collectively speaking, moving into the month of January. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, what we have here is the Strength card reversed. We have the Four of Wands reversed, and then we also have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Okay, first and foremost, it seems like there's a lot of earth sign and fire sign energy within this reading. And overall, it really feels like this beautiful energy, this beautiful metamorphosis or transformative type of energy. But there are these little dips that I'm also picking in where there's a lot of raw emotion around something or a lot of self doubt when it comes to something. And it also feels like there's this sense of these sort of repeating habits or these repeating cycles that, in a sense, are holding someone back here. And I am also picking up on some sort of divided energy as well with that Four of Swords. I'm sorry, the Four of Wands. I don't know why I said Four of Swords. That could be some sort of channeled message about needing to rest and rejuvenate or something. But the Four of Swords did not come out in this reading. It was the Four of Wands. And so, yeah, I'm really picking up on this divided energy for some strange reason. So, perhaps there was some sort of union that was meant to happen, or some sort of celebration, or whatever, or this sort of like harmony or harmonic type of homecoming in a sense. But this really feels like some sort of divided conflict with others type of energy thread that I'm picking up on right now as we are transitioning into January. But whatever it is, it's going to lead to possibly a personal self-fulfilled type of celebration. But you would think that what whoever I'm channeling into right now, they would want a more harmonic celebration with several different people or threads of energy from different people. But again, I'm picking up on some sort of like hermit mode type of energy. So that's really kind of heavy again. So but anyway, it really feels like a roller coaster ride in a sense as we transition into January. And what I mean by roller coaster, it just seems like there's a lot of emotional dips and dives or delves into something, but it really requires the need to let go and surrender because whatever this is, it's just an assemblage of a lot of this negative energy that has been carried over from a past situation. And the refusal of letting go of that is really restricting in some sort of sense. At least that's how it feels. And it does feel really heavy. It feels like what I usually call gray matter or just this like black hole in a sense. So almost like a void. Whatever mindfulness practices, it's definitely essential to do those at this time. And it will definitely help clear your mind. Or if you have any sort of energetic ways of releasing energy, hopefully that will help as well. Okay, so I do want to conclude this reading. And this video also seems like it's rather lengthy as well. So I suppose if I do these monthlies, I'll have to split them up into two different videos. I want to conclude this reading by channeling a message from Spirit with my beautiful Spiritual Messages Oracle deck. and just try to encompass all of these different energies here within this reading. So I'm going to be shuffling that particular deck to get one final channel message as we conclude the reading. Okay, as I shuffled, two cards immediately flew out of that particular deck. The first one, oh, I do have to mention when it comes to these oracle cards, I always set the intention of not reading them in reversed. But for some reason, this one came out in reversed. But it would be kind of weird to read this in the sense where it has a reversed meaning because it's a very positive message. And it says, never allow yourself to be taken for granted. It is better to remove yourself from the situation than to be treated less than you deserve. You are precious. You are worthy. So if I was to read that or take that in a reversed position, it would mean that you essentially would be allowing people to take yourself for granted. And you are basically affirming to the universe that you are not worthy or that you are not precious or deserve anything less than what you truly deserve. So, this could be confirmation that several people within the collective are actually currently in this particular energy. And so, since I did not give this message out in that reverse type of connotation, that would be confirmation that we are shifting out of this particular type of energy dynamic and more into an energy dynamic of abundance and self prosperity and being totally enriched in our lives in every particular aspect of how it may look for us individually speaking. And I do believe that's very beautiful. That's a very beautiful channeled message from the universe and our spirit team as well. Now, the next card says it's another beautiful message. It says, keep moving forward, even if you are unsure of your next step or where it may take you. Trust that you are walking the path you are meant to walk. Remember, we are walking it with you. Trust yourself more. That is a very beautiful message also, but it feels like it's more from a particular spirit team or spirit guides from part of the collective. So I do want to conclude the reading here. I do want to thank you so much for taking time to listen to this monthly forecast reading as we shift into the new energy of the new year for January 2025. I do intend on doing videos like this more often. Hopefully, there is something in this particular reading that will really truly resonate with you as we shift into the new year and the month of January. I would definitely love to hear in the comment section if any of these particular messages resonate for you as we do shift into January. So definitely feel free to comment and let me know if anything resonates for you or if you see a particular shift as we are shifting into January. But I do want to leave you guys here with a lot of positive love and appreciation. And thank you for joining us in this beautiful collective space with all of this high vibrational energy. And I will see you in the next episode.